Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas and have wonderful guests. And I have with me today a guest that we have had on once before, and I'm sure you will be happy to have him back. And his name is Dean Chambers.
Hi,
Hi,
Gail.
Dean.
Hi, Gail.
How you doing?
Uh, we don't want to tell them all the problems we're having, but we're doing better now.
Yeah, we were having some, I don't know if I should even use the word bandwidth
Yeah,
problems, but
yeah. No, don't say that word.
don't, yeah, that might just make it worse. So
Yeah.
anyway, we have lots to talk about, really. So much is going on, but so little is still being seen by the public. But there's a lot of information in the Patriot and the alternative news media. Wouldn't
Yes,
you
there
agree?
is. I do.
Yeah.
I do. What do you want
Yeah.
to talk about?
Well, I thought some of the most interesting conversations involved um, the princess.
I agree. I agree.
You know,
Uh,
I have a picture I could put up.
Sounds good to me.
Let me put it up there. I have to take us off for a minute to show the picture. Interesting picture.
I really think that's the definitive picture. You picked the right one.
Yes. And it certainly looks fitting. Um, anyway, people would be rather shocked, but to find out that the princess that everyone loved because she wanted to be the queen of your heart is still alive.
Yes. So let's go back to the beginning. That she wrote into in her diary that she knew that Charles the Turd was to do away with her.
Yeah, he was plotting to kill her.
Yeah, I'm trying to be careful with my words. Do away with her is right.
Oh, do
And
away with her. Okay,
yeah,
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 good
yeah,
point. I didn't think of it that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing is, it came to the attention of our great president, Donald Trump, who happened to be in love with Princess Diana. And she went on the record. This was up on the media. She says, and Donald really loves me a lot, and that's kind of like where it started, because she disappeared. We had the accident in the tunnel with a black vehicle with yellow plates. Now this is very key because she was in. Donald swapped out another car there, a black vehicle with black plates. That's the one she was in. She was nowhere near where this accident happened. And then they pretty much scooped her up. And she went to Mar a Largo. And she's been living at Mar a Largo for all this period of time that she's been away. And the other one,
Wow.
yeah, that's why no one could find her. The security there is like really top notch. I mean, to the president, Mar-a-Lago was supposed to be, well, actually, it was for a very short period of time. It was the Southern White House, and the government owned it. And they found out that it was just too expansive. It was too much to maintain, and they put it back on the market. And Trump bought it. Now, how do I know? I start connecting the dots. So here, Queen Diana comes out and says, well, Charlie boy wants to take me out. I made note of it in my diary. And then this accident happens. And then I get saved. Then another mysterious post comes out about the Mar-a-Lago raid by the FBI. And Queen Diana goes, and I want you to know that raid was really about me. And I start thinking, well, sure it was. You were there. Well,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, sure, certainly they would want to know to be able to verify that information.
Well, she wrote that piece and said that whole raid was primarily about me, not about this paperwork. That was just kind of like a cover story, misdirection. And of course, she wasn't there. This is a very expansive place, Mar-a-Lago, and I'm sure since it was going to be the Southern White House, at least my sources said the underground tunnel system there that's connected across the whole nation is just 5-star. They wouldn't find her at all. But let's make it a little bit more interesting. They also scooped up John, and he's been living there. Oh, the plot thickens.
Isn't that amazing? I've
Yeah,
read this too, but I love the way you tell it, Dean. So keep going.
yeah. Then we find out that the Donald has an affair that produces a child. Actually, he had a few children, but we'll stick with the first one. He produced Baron from Princess Diana, Queen Diana, and he got Melania to agree to raise it as her child. But what happened in the news media again? People start taking pictures of Baron, taking a look at him closely, comparing the eyes and other features, and they're going, this is a child that came from Diana.
You can see her in him. I mean, I
Yes.
can.
Yeah. So then we start off by her saying that Charlie's going to do this. Trump comes around, saves her. She's living at a place where Charles cannot get at her, even with all their little spies and stuff like that. You got the actual, real, legitimate president of the United States maintaining her security,
Protecting her,
and her safety and protection. That's right. You can't get better than that. Now, there's one more thing that comes up is, well, of course, she did have an affair with John. What woman in her right mind wouldn't want to hook up with John? I mean, he's staggeringly handsome, and he's charming and everything
wait,
else.
are you saying Diana had an affair with him?
Oh, absolutely. And it was publicized. But then it's the picture you just put up with Donald Trump wearing the red tie. That's significant. Some used to say when he wears a red tie, that's the real him. The blue tie is a clone or it's a look-alike.
Yes, I've heard this. Yeah.
But, they mix that story up so many times. No matter what tie he was wearing, you didn't know if it was really him or not.
Can I throw something in there real quick that has to do with the rally yesterday in Mesa? He didn't wear any tie. And I was told that that's a sign that it's done.
Now, that is a really good piece of information. I did not hear that. I did not hear that. Ooh. And there has been a lot of publication from Trump saying it's done as well. And I wasn't exactly sure what that was. But I think you're right. Without a tie, it's kind of like the work is off. We were getting indicators when we saw the flag with no stars, indicating a military flag, take no quarter. So basically, we're not taking any prisoners. If it's done, they've got all the bad guys. And they've been saying that from the beginning. We have it all. Well, they had the servers. They got the servers from the NSA. The NSA had every telephone call, every phone communication, cell phone, every data transfer, every meme, every, you name it, they had it. So they had these guys dead to right. But the picture you put up with Trump, red tie, walking with Diana in an Air Force uniform as a high-ranking officer, because when you look at the ribbons on the coat, there's 10 rows of ribbons. You don't see some 3 or 4 star generals with 10 rows of ribbons. So that was kind of like to make a statement. But then you look in the background, you got Marine One, which only the sitting president can ride in. That's Air Force One and Marine One. Who's sitting in there? John. So all 3 of them are together, and John is holding the Space Force symbol with his thumbs together and his fingers outstretched, and you can plainly see that. So when I go back and I kind of like connect some dots, and I go, well, Trump saved her and saved him. They had a child. They had another child, Arabelle, I think was her name. There's even another child in there that I sent you a picture of earlier. It was kind of a black and white, and that's not Trump. I don't know who that is. That's some foreign dignitary. The child had a scimitar at his side, which is kind of like a curved sword from the Orient. So who knows what that represented? The child was probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old. We have that picture. So now we have Diana still down in Mar-a-Lago. FBI would have loved to walked in and scooped her up. But as it turned out, they were well aware the FBI was coming. And my intel says that all the information that they found in terms of paperwork and everything else, Trump had that planned out a month ahead of time. He knew what they were going to find. He chose what he was going to put there, and he made them look like idiots. And he just sat back, and he didn't have to do anything. And they didn't find Diana either. That would have been a big win.
They're 10 steps ahead of them, at least. Usually, it seems like, which is good, because they're coming down one way or another.
This is an interesting development in Mesa, and I know that you and your girlfriend were going to go.
Yes, we were, and then last minute we didn't plan it very much ahead of time. I found out about it a little bit late, and we figured as late as it was, we would have a very difficult time finding a place to park, and
I'd be curious as to what the numbers were at that rally. You knew there was going to be miles and miles and miles of cars, and you're going to have to walk a couple miles just to get to watch a Jumbotron. You were never going to see Trump, but you would see him on the Jumbotron, the big screens that they bring in. I think they bring in 2 or 3 of them.
Well, my friend said, I always managed to get to the front. And I went,
we need one of those little, what do they call them? Things with the propellers, hovercraft or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But back to the story here. So that's what I think is kind of amazing. You still do not see Diana anyplace around. We know that Charlie is, I know it's going to be hard for some people to swallow. He's not human. He's reptilian. We've had some pictures of some video that kind of substantiated that. So people that don't even know what that is, first of all, high definition television records at a much higher rate than what the human eye can see. So oftentimes you will see shapeshifters because the camera can pick it up where your eye didn't. I think there was an Obama meeting one time, and one of the Secret Service was a shapeshifter reptilian. There he is. They got him right on camera. He's turning his whole head, turned bald-headed. He had the eyes. He had the slit eyes and everything else. Well, the same thing with Chuck the Turd. He is
Chuck,
Charlie. Charles.
Oh,
Charles the Turd.
Yeah.
Being insulting.
I thought you changed to someone else. Sorry.
So we had a couple things come up about him, but this is related to Diana. One, what happened? We saw his hands were all swollen, and they're calling them sausage fingers and things like that. Well, first of all, being a reptilian, he has a different physiology, right? We don't even really know what that is. And doctors are reporting he's real close to a heart attack. He's going to be dead in a few days. Well, are they prepping the thing? Is he going to do a soft exit where he just disappears? Who knows how they're going to play this? But we know that Charles is not going to be around. He's going to disappear. We know that Harry and Meghan, who abdicated the throne because he went and lived in California, they no longer have the His Royal Highness, Her Royal Highness titles, so they're not in line. They can't like come back and jump back in line and say, well, we're next in line. So that rules them out. There's a few other little ones that are in the way, but guess who's next in line? Diana. And this was well planned. Again, time travel. They knew what was going to happen. They knew how they were going to do it, and they went ahead and did it.
And that is fantastic. And the sleeping public is going to be extremely shocked by all of this.
We'll throw a little carrot in on the side, a little caveat. People do not realize, and you're like the only person that I've talked with, Gail, who actually got it. Gail just spit it right out. When we talk about Melania, nobody knows how powerful she is and how important she is in this whole scenario on a global level, not just for the United States. She has been represented as being Pleiadian. And I mean, she's stunningly attractive, speaks 5 languages, but she has a role that she's going to play in this whole thing that's going to just blow people's mind. Trump knows it, and the whole thing just came together like a well-oiled machine, and we're out there. I was a little reluctant to put it out there because it's really not out there.
No, it's not. It's not. It's quite a shock to people, and some of them will be. I got a couple of messages or comments on when this was mentioned on the with the Drake show of people that were kind of like they were almost offended by it because they couldn't possibly be true, kind of thing. So that's one of the things on Free Range. I mean, we it's free to open your mind. Anyway.
Yeah. Well,
anything's possible.
By me reporting it, I kind of put her in jeopardy. Although her security is really, really tight. They're not going to get anywhere near her. And then what was the other story you were talking about? You said Trump chopped down the trees around Mar-a-Lago so that you could see something more clearly?
What they might try to do to his family in terms of when they if they're planning on arresting him. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know why else he would be cutting down all the trees. I'm sure he's not doing it because he doesn't like trees, or they wouldn't have been there in the first place. So he wants the everybody to see what they're actually going to do.
All you would have to do is put up a couple drones, though, right?
That's true, but okay. Well, I can't. I haven't.
I don't know either. Yeah, I don't have to figure it out either. And he's usually 10 steps ahead of everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure he gets the best information from all over the place.
All his intel. Well, the NSA is that's his calling card. He's the commander in chief of the military. So and the NSA is kind of the CIA information source for the military. The NSA. I don't say that they're totally lily white. I don't think any of those agencies are. They've just been infiltrated, but that's how the game is played.
I think they're horrible agencies. I think they've done so many things wrong. They need to be totally disbanded. That's just my opinion.
I agree with you. I agree with that. I believe that they will be. We have to come back to, it doesn't say in the Constitution, we the government. It says we the people. In big letters, so that you don't even have to put your reading glasses on. You can say, oh, I can read this. It says we the people.
One of the things that they're doing are the bad guys. I was just trying to find, I had some notes somewhere about, about him cutting down the trees, and right now I'm not finding it, but
I didn't hear that.
nonetheless,
You're the first one to tell me that. I feel kind
yeah,
of sad because I'm sure those trees are beautiful.
beautiful trees. Yeah, I was. I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find it. If you don't mind my looking.
No, not at
Um,
all.
but anyway, in the meantime, they say that here's the gut punch is coming for arresting Trump. He said that he won the election and put him in the he should be put in the presidency, and they won't put him in the White House, and then they should put him on the ballot in 2022. They consider that seditious insurrectionist statements. So the J6 committee is going to have him arrested for a seditious act. Can you believe that?
Well, they always blame you for what they're doing. And the fact of the matter is the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Trump. I just did a big, long article about everything you're talking about, except it's on them for all the sedition and treasonous acts that they did and hiding ballots and ballots showing that.
Exactly. And what this particular article is the one that says that what is Trump doing right now? He's having all the trees around Mar-a-Lago cut down, all down. He wants the world to see clearly what's about to happen to him and his family. And that's from 107.
Could be a distraction.
Maybe.
I mean, you never tell your enemy what your next move is. I'm going to cut down all the trees so the whole world can see what's going to happen to me and my family. Let me tell you, he's got protection for his family beyond anything you and I could imagine.
Yeah, but again, we're always dealing with optics. So
that's right. I would hope they don't cut the trees. I hope the FBI sits there in their little vans out there waiting for the tree guys to show up, and they never show up.
Exactly. I think that would be horrible if they cut down all those trees. That would just ruin the whole place, really. You can't, they don't go back up that easy. But anyway, there was also something said that they said in Florida the other day, just a day, maybe two ago, that Biden may, I don't know if I'm supposed to use the name.
Yeah, whatever.
But anyway, made some kind of statement that nobody bleep with a Biden. You can imagine the word that starts with an F and ends with a K. Okay.
I saw that.
Nobody does that with Biden. Yeah. And so, and implying that if you go after the son, you're actually going after the father as well, is how he put it out there. So,
okay, let's clarify
what
this.
kind of threat he's making. Yeah.
Yeah, but let's clarify it. This is not Biden.
I understand. I know that.
But the media is
somebody's puppet.
That's correct. That's correct. And I happen to believe that this puppet, this pawn, is working for the good guys because he goes out there and acts like an absolute moron.
Buffoon.
Like a buffoon, that's right. What does he go? 3 words. No, he went 2 words. Made in America. And everybody's going, well, that's 3 words.
3 words.
Yeah. Yeah, but he talks to reporters and then he kind of like backpedals away from them and he falls asleep here and he turns like he's on drugs or something. This is an actor. I sent you a picture of the guy who I think it is. Well, we thought it was Woods, James Woods, playing this character.
I heard they had several different ones.
I would definitely agree with that. And of course, the media is, they're guilty of treason and sedition. They are definitely attacking and that's been one of the big problems we need to get a handle on. If we're in charge of the military, like our great president is, I would go and remove the heads of the major networks and I would take them into custody, not arrest them. If you arrest them, then they get habeas corpus. They have a right to an attorney. They have a right to bond out. But you put them into custody for treason and the military takes you in. You don't get an attorney. They bring you in front of the JAG, which is the Judge Advocate Generals, and there's usually, I think, 5 or 7 of them.
If they didn't do it that way, they would drag it out forever.
That's correct. That's correct. And we don't need this. This is anybody that's saying the Biden administration doesn't realize that the real Biden, his crimes against children were so horrific, so monstrous. That's why that laptop was the big talk, because they have films of some of the things that did. Bestiality was a part of it. I mean, taking skin off of children. Oh my God. They grabbed this guy. They brought him in. He was found guilty. They took him out. And I think they hung him. I know they hung Hillary.
I heard they just hung the son as well.
Well, I think they did both of them. Yeah, no, the son hasn't been around in a long time. You don't see him making any appearances anywhere, giving any speeches or anything. You see this actor over there, and I keep thinking to myself, this is an actor. This is not the real deal. This is not a guy that.
All these corrupt politicians and
you just can't think this guy's the president. Oops, what happened? Wait, the audio.
Who does?
Just switched here.
I didn't hear exactly what you said.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. It wasn't really clear exactly what you said. Just a minute ago. But I think you're okay now.
I was saying that.
Let me hear you.
Yeah. I think that anybody who thinks that the Biden administration is a viable entity that is governing our country is sadly mistaken. And then I get people that go,
I would have to agree with you.
Yeah, they want me to do all their homework for them. They want me to go, give me all your search. I'm not your secretary. And if you're too damn lazy, go out and do any type of homework where you could find this out for yourself. You're just going to stay rude and ignorant like you are.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to know. That's kind of like a cognitive dissonance. They really don't want to know.
It's the sleepers. And it's like we were talking before. Somehow, I believe they are trapped in some type of frequency that has, it's some type of block, and it can't go any further. Like, for example, they used to call it the Mr. T derangement syndrome, because they'd say the name and they'd wig out and, oh, I hate him, I do this, I do that, he's this, that, or the other thing, and it's like, what did he do? Why? And I think one of the biggest things that they tried to say that he was, I don't even know how you use this word, just in other words,
a misogynist.
That's a big, yeah. They don't like women, in other words, yeah. Or abuser, or abusive, and so on. And I don't think so. But anyway, he may be changed from his younger days too. Who knows?
I hear stories of kindness about our great president. And when I look at and judge a person by their actions and what they've done, I see 2 pages of a list that he made that I'm going to lower unemployment. I'm going to bring jobs back to the country here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a simple example was Apple went over to make their phones over in China. He said, hey, no problem. You can do that. We'll charge you a 25%, 30% tariff to come back into the country. Well, they went to the war room, sat down, crunched some numbers. They said it's going to cost us a whole lot more than China. So they brought all that business back to the United States, and Trump created all those jobs back for America. It just was brilliant planning.
Exactly. And he knows what he's doing as far as negotiations with all these different countries, and he's been all over. And look what happened in Saudi Arabia, too. And they're all involved. They're very involved in the social media. And I think turning it around, because that um, Saudi prince, or whatever position he holds, feels like he owes him his life because of what happened in Vegas.
And I know you're doing a time check.
Yes, we're at 30
Oh,
minutes.
okay. So,
So
there
anyway,
is
you know what I'm
nobody.
talking about. That's why
Yeah,
they had Trump holding the sword, and nobody does. I mean, that was, people don't know how out of the ordinary that really is.
oh, yes. Yes. They pretty much made him the king. Only the
King.
king holds the sword.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you've got this child that showed up that looks like he's from that region holding a similar type of sword. Well, he actually has it in a sheath at his side. You you have that picture, right? I know it's.
Yeah, I don't have it up right now, but
I post for the listening audience. I post on Telegram because I got booted off of Facebook. I did 600 days in prison there. They finally said you're out of here. So
I've lost some track.
I
lost
post
track.
on
Anyway, I'm
Telegram.
sorry. Go ahead.
And I post on Telegram under It's Dean's Den. So if you do that, you'll see my my happy smiley face, and you'll see the posts that I do, and you'll see some of the pictures that we're talking about.
Yes, that's great. Go to his post and also look up mine, Gail of Gaia. I use that handle, so to speak, on just about all platforms, so it becomes easy to find. But anyway, in Telegram, it's so nice to have a place where you're not censored. At least it certainly appears that way at this stage of the game.
Yes, yeah. Well,
Now, I heard about the Real Raw News saying something about the Supreme Court, or and even the Epoch Times, saying that the Supreme Court is ruling that Trump is the duly lawfully
that's
abiding.
that's correct. They put that
Is
out
that
today.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm going.
And they also said that they should be put into office immediately.
Yes.
And what are you telling me? You're going. He says it's done. He's got no tie on. He's probably got his top button unbuttoned.
Yep, he did.
Yes, kind of a little bit more relaxed, casual environment. I don't see how they could arrest him. And he had said earlier that the country wouldn't stand for it. I mean, he took 84% of the vote. He took all 50 states. And then the traitors came in. The sedition, the traitors came in. And at 2:00 in the morning, came in with hundreds of thousands or millions of trillions of vote, and suddenly, oh, by the way, Biden just suddenly slipped in and he won by a narrow margin. First of all, the real Biden sat in Congress for 50 years, never penned anything, never did anything other than be a pedophile and traffic human beings while he was in Washington. That's something he did do. Well, he got caught, he got executed, and we've got this guy over here that's acting like a total imbecile, a buffoon, like you said. And people who are so asleep out there got to go, wait, that can't be our president. Did he just say that? Did he just do that? And you're right, it's not.
Well, you know what? It's.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I didn't know you were still going on about that. Go ahead.
No. Finish your thought.
I already lost it.
Wait, here I see it floating
Well,
around.
That happens sometimes. It was just a side note, anyway.
Yeah, the people wouldn't stand for it. by the margin that he legitimately won the presidency and represents the people are not going to allow the fake news, the fake science, all these fake people to come forward and just have their way by lying. They're not going to allow it. Not going to happen.
I should hope not. I should hope not. If there's anything that the people have been in great need of, is the truth about everything.
You know,
And some people won't want to hear it, but I think the vast majority need to hear it really bad, because anybody that's believing the mass media needs to know that they're being lied to. And I think that they've lost a lot of viewers because of that. But I know that Trump has a $475 million lawsuit against fake news, CNN. Have you heard that? Are you still? Oh, it appears that Dean's bandwidth has just gone way down again. So I'll just go on. Maybe he'll come. There it is again. You came back on. Are you okay? Can I hear you? Are you there? Anyway, Elon Musk is supposed to be finalizing his purchase of Twitter, from what I hear and read. And his first order of business, he claims, will be reinstating Mr. T. So that's definitely a good thing. Are you able to speak at all, Dean? It looks like you have a very low bandwidth. You might want to go out and come back in. And I'll just continue talking over some of the information that I have. And people should know that Trump won't be returning as president of the bankrupt U.S. corporation, but rather the president of the new republic for these United States. So it'll be a new republic where we, the people, have all the power. There is no federal income tax, and America will be returning to the gold standard. Arrests and tribunals, military tribunal, I can't say the word, tribunals will be coming soon. And this will give people the opportunity to find out what the crimes have been against humanity and for treason and otherwise. Well, are you back? I think you're back.
I hear you.
I was just talking about the
so,
arrest.
but
now you're back to green. You keep changing colors. You're a chameleon.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. That was a joke.
Sometimes you have to be.
Yeah, really, and be able to laugh at yourself for that matter. But anyway, these arrests and tribunals, Zuckerberg, Jack Dorsey, Fauci, Obama's, Biden's, Clinton's, they're all will end up in Gitmo for high treason. That's what they're saying. What do you think about that? You agree?
I think a lot. I don't. I actually think a lot of them have already been arrested. They've already been executed, and they've been placed with either a clone or something keep a double to keep the agenda going forward, so they can draw more bad guys. And boy, have they been drawn out bad.
Yeah. And so, but what I'm seeing them do is they seem to be putting these things out there in hopes that it'll filter into the general public, at least to some degree, that these people are going to be, the tribunals are coming, even though it's already happened. Okay. So somehow they got to trickle this out to the people a little at a time. And then eventually they'll actually see the reason why this has happened to these people. So I guess they're trying to prevent any major uprising.
I agree with you. I'll tell you, you want to see a major uprising? Arrest Trump, see what happens.
Yeah, maybe that's not such a bad idea. I mean, I hate to say that, but I hate to have him. Well, maybe it's good for him to experience that.
No,
that sounds terrible.
I don't believe it's going to happen. I don't believe. going to
Well,
happen at
good.
all.
I hope it doesn't. I mean, it's a bit extreme if you ask me, and I hope the trees don't get cut down. That just may be a bogus BS. So we'll see. It all comes out in the wash
He
eventually,
always talks cryptically anyway. So if
cryptically.
we just, yeah, if
Yeah.
we pause and to cut down the trees, he may
Maybe
be
he's
talking about, yeah,
exactly.
he's
I was
talking.
just going to say that's probably not even talking about trees per se. He's talking about something else. And besides that, he could have all the spies and all kinds of people watching. So, the coup against the Mr. T is not going to go unpunished from what I've been seeing. And the corrupt politicians aren't going to get away with what they've been getting away with. And what do you think about the midterms? You think there's going to be any midterms? Everybody is saying no, but I don't think there will be. But what do you got to say?
Can you hear
your
me?
bandwidth is really low again. Okay, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can.
I have trouble. I have trouble with elections because they're really not representative of the people. We are electing corporate figures into place, and I don't subscribe to a corporation running the country here. I subscribe to we the people running the company that are not run the country, that are not part of a company with a board of directors. You can't serve two masters. You can't serve the public while you're trying to rule and govern the people through your board of directors, and you have stockholder meetings. That's what a company does. So they want to elect all these people that belong to corporations. They're the Republican, the National Republican Party Incorporated, the Democratic Party Incorporated, which are all communists. Stop all that. Stop it. Don't tell me you want me to go out and vote for a company. You can't serve two masters. You can't serve the public, and you can't serve the company that you work for. And if you have a company, why do you have a company? To make money. Goods and or services you provide. If you go into public office, and I would know that because I held public office, you are there to serve the public. You are there. It's not about you. You have to represent all the people that you represent. You can't set a precedent by doing special favors for this, and like it's been done in Washington forever. You can't do that.
Yes,
but that's how corporations operate. So what do I think of the elections? I don't think much of them.
I couldn't agree more. They just the whole thing has to change. It all has to be revamped, so to speak, and rebuilt.
It's going to be. It's going to be with our great president. He had the foresight to know that you couldn't just tear it down. It would be too big of a shock.
Oh, and have you heard this one? This, instead of Build Back Better, it's Biden behind bars.
But see, that takes into the consideration that this guy is Biden.
Is real. It's not. I know, but don't you? That was. Just
I get tired
joke,
of.
Okay?
No, it's not a joke for me. I'm tired of hearing it. This is not Biden. The Biden was used to peel children's faces off. He was so horrible.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
But people got. That's why I get angry that this buffoon is walking around doing stick like a stand-up comedian, and people are still believing the media. I don't believe the media. It's a lie. And I put my foot down. All a lie. There is no Biden. There is no Biden administration. I don't believe the $84 cajillion that they're sending off to Ukraine. He's not in charge. You can't do that. That's all a lie. We have the media, and we're going to send another 160 million over there. I'll tell you, the hero over there is Putin. He's been protecting the Ukrainian people. Ukraine is going to be part of Mother Russia, a republic. And there's nothing they can do about it. And they're angry, Rothschilds and Rockefellers and all those people, because Ukraine was where they used to keep their piggy bank. They keep all their slush money, their adrenochrome, their biolabs. They're all over the place. What was Putin doing? He was simply taking out these labs. What do they say? Oh, no, Putin's over there blowing people up. He's a terrible person. No, he's not. He's a hero. Then I have video footage right from sources right from Russia. Oh, boy, are they good. You see Russian troops there bringing in humanitarian goods and food and clothes and camps and everything you could imagine for and it's Nazis, N-Z-I, it's the Nazis. They're still around, and they are the ones that are foundationally the ones that are at fault here. We got to take them out.
Yeah. You know, we have some serious issues in Europe going on as a result of fuel-related issues. And one of the things that I just read, and I haven't been able to check on it, but it says that the UK government has begun to start using previously forbidden Tesla energy technology. And other countries are expected to follow suit. And they have a picture of Tesla with a hat on saying, "Let's make electricity free again."
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny.
And it's true, because we've had technologies, Gail, for 75 years that require the petrodollar. But these people, Saudi nations, are trillionaires because the world has been reliant on the gas and oil. First of all, gas and oil doesn't come from where they say it come from. We have an unlimited amount.
It's abiotic. And I just got to mention, we're coming up on, we got about 3 minutes left. So anything that's really important that you want to say, we need to get it in, and we'll do another one, but we need to keep it at around, as I had mentioned, to be able to put it out there.
You guys help keep, okay, I'll simply say that you guys have really helped Gail and I stay alive by donations. And if anybody make any, I'm Dean Chambers 228 at PayPal. And then Gail has her information, and I know run before the show and at the end. She works her butt off to get the nation out to you for free. So that I got to say thank you very much.
And thank you, Dean. And I hope if there's anyone out there, they can help Dean, or they can, help Free Range. Either way, we really do our best to get this information out there. And Dean is a wonderful source of information and research, and he does his homework. So we will talk to you again. Thank you. We will talk to you again soon. And thank you so much, Dean. Let's do this again.
Have a great day, Gail. Always nice talking to you.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you again soon.
Standing tall and standing strong, defiant and looking on. No way down from our past we climb. We'll push on while there's still time. Watch our backs through the night. Don't look down. Yeah, we'll take it.
Hi, everyone. Just some last closing notes. Yes, we will stand. We will all stand together and make this the planet, the new Earth that we all really want. And keep your spirits up. Keep your meditation going. Keep your things that make you happy going. And be sure to make somebody smile today. Thank you for listening. And a very special thank you to anyone and everyone who have contributed or sent cards or letters to me. I can't tell you how much that means to me. It just keeps me going. And I'm going to make a whole wall collage of all the cards and letters that I've received from listeners. And I'm going to put it on the wall behind me, and I will show it to you. It makes me feel so good. And I want to thank everyone again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You have a beautiful day.